The Restless Ghost is one of the first quests in Runescape. It and 5 others debuted at Runescape's launch back in January 2001. Because it's located in Lumbridge, which is where new players appear, and begins in the Church of Saradomin, right out the gate from where the player spawns, there's a very good chance that it will be any given player's first quest. Like most of RuneScape's earliest quests, the Restless Ghost has a very simple structure. Talk to person A, talk to person B, talk to person C, get key item D. Father Eric is the man in charge of the local Church of Saradomin. You wander in and ask him for a quest, because you're an adventurer and quests are things that adventurers do to break up the monotony of fishing thousands upon thousands of trout from the river. For his part, Father Eric just so happens to have a quest, in the form of a ghost that needs getting rid of in the local graveyard. He isn't very good at solving problems by himself, so he suggests that you go find his old friend, Father Ernie, and ask him for advice. Father Ernie turns out to be an old grump living by himself in a shack in Lumbridge Swamp. You can try to chat him up, but he just wants you to get off his lawn so that he can go back to contemplating the wisdom of Saradomin. You'll need to name drop Father Eric to get him to even talk to you, and even then he's only mildly helpful. He could do something about the problem, sure, but this is a really cozy swamp shack, so he just throws a magic amulet at your head and tells you to figure it out for yourself. This is the Amulet of Ghost Speak, and as you might guess from the name, it's used to help you cook fish without burning it as often. No, it's a translator for ghosts. Without it, if you try to talk to one, you'll get some vaguely amusing but largely unhelpful ghosty noises. As it turns out, there's quite a few ghosts in RuneScape, to the point that a major town in the game is called Port Phasmatis, which roughly translates to Ghosty McGhost Town, so, pro tip, you're gonna want to hang on to it after everything's said and done here. Language barrier removed, you're now able to talk to the ghost in question, who's surprisingly polite and helpful considering that he's trapped in an unbearable shell of an existence between this life and the next. He tells you that he's stuck as a ghost because a warlock stole his skull. Apparently it was one of the warlocks who lives in the big tower by the sea to the southwest, aka Wizard's Tower. As a side note, in this game we're generally expected to believe that all the wizards wearing blue robes are the good guys. Wizard's Tower is a sizable building on a small hill south of Draenor Village. The town features a large library, blue-robed men in a variety of sizes, and a demon in a cage full of human remains. You know, for science. The wizards themselves are either untalkative, unhelpful, senile, or insane. They have a combat level of 9, but their limp, unathletic bodies conceal immense arcane power, which is to say that their magic attack has a maximum hit of 6. If you pick a fight with one and your combat level is 9, it likely won't end well for you. The skull in question is in the basement of the tower. Apparently, extracurricular activities in the tower aren't limited to demon caging, as someone stuck a skull right on top of an altar to Saradomin there. They're apparently attached to it too, as when you grab the skull, a skeleton nearby— seriously, there's too much of a casual approach to human bodies in this place. A skeleton nearby comes to life and attacks you. This skeleton might just be one of the most ineffective quest guardians you'll meet. For starters, it doesn't come to life until you've already got the skull. You don't even have to actually fight it. If you want, you can just leave. The skeleton can't do much about it, and it isn't all that threatening in the first place. Now on RuneScape 3, the Restless Ghost has had a few alterations. To start with, everything is much closer together. Father Ernie's shack used to be located on the southwest corner of Lumbridge Swamp. Now it's on the southeast corner. What's more, the skull's theft and location were completely rewritten. Instead of having a skull stolen after his death by a wizard from Wizard Tower, in RuneScape 3 the ghost was killed by mining in the small copper and tin mine to the south of Lumbridge. I guess whoever buried him just left his head out in the swamp. This time his killer was the skeleton itself, which is also the warlock. Someone from the Wizard's Tower PR department must have been on the Quest rework staff. It has a lower combat level and is significantly weaker than its old-school counterpart, which is really saying something when you consider that players have an equally significant boost to the damage they can deal out in RuneScape 3. As a comparison, this is what the fight looks like in old school. And this is what it looks like in RuneScape 3. Oh, wait, no, he's dead. He's dead already. For your efforts, you get 1,125 experience points in Prayer, which is enough to get you to level 9 if you just started out. That's worth about 250 regular bones, so it's a good leg up for getting started in the skill. For all of its basic structure, the Restless Ghost is a useful quest, and ultimately a consequential one. It introduces the player to the concept of improving the prayer skill by laying the remains of the dead to rest. The item you get, the Amulet of Ghost Speak, remains an extremely useful tool for the rest of the game for its ability to let you communicate with ghosts. As a whole, it's an early way for a player to make their mark as an adventurer, helping people, laying the dead to rest, and maybe fighting some undead along the way.